By the time I get home, I am so hungry I could eat the entire fridge. I get upstairs, drop my book bag in the kitchen, and start looking for leftovers. Thankfully, there is some chicken and rice in the Tupperware in the fridge. I bite one of my chicken wings cold, put it down, and start putting rice on my plate. So hungry. I start singing out loud. I take my plate off the counter and pop it in the microwave. I am so thankful to the microwave inventor today, more than ever. I close up the rest that I didn't warm up and start placing it back in the fridge. I take another piece of chicken and eat this one cold. I pour myself a cup of juice and sit down at the table to eat. I normally am a pretty slow eater. Not today. Within 10 minutes, my food was devoured. I clean up my dishes and head to my room. Do I want to start on homework or watch TV? Before I could decide, the phone rang. I checked the caller ID. It's Lauren. Hello? What's up, nerd? Nothing, about to do homework. What's up? I got Christian on three-way. Okay? I reply, sounding confused. Hey, Summer, I told Lauren she didn't have to call you. Call me about? I sound a little more annoyed because they're dancing around the purpose of this call. There's a silent pause on the phone. So anyone want to tell me what's going on? I ask. Well, you have a boyfriend, right? Christian asks. Yes, why? I still sound annoyed. And you said his name is Tavior. Why? I ask in a more stern tone. There's two Taviors out here. I didn't know which one was your boyfriend. But why? I am getting snappy because this drawn out suspense shit is annoying. This nigga got pressed in a pizza shop, Lauren interrupts. Huh? I reply, sounding confused. It's not that big of a deal, but he mentioned your name, he says. Can I know the whole story? Y'all not giving me full details, I snap. One of the Taviors out here isn't a street dude. One is. I let out a frustrated sigh. Okay. One goes by Saga and the other is just Tavior. When you said Tavior, I assumed it was him, but Saga pressed me about you today. My boyfriend is Saga. Now, tell me what happened from the top. I feel like I'm being a tattletale, especially when you're confirming it's Saga and he was talking about you, he says. I stay quiet before I end up cursing everybody out. Nah, I was in the pizza shop. I ordered my pizza, and Saga walked in and did a double take when he saw me. Everybody in the hood knows Saga and his crew, but I don't have any beef with them or anyone, so I'm not thinking anything by it. I reply to show I'm still listening. Then he kept staring, but it looked like he was trying to remember where he knew me from or some shit. I don't know. I was dressed fly, my chain out, so I don't know. I thought maybe he thought he knew me from somewhere. After I order my food, he stands next to me and says, Yo, your name Christian? I said, yeah. Why? What's up? He said, you know a girl named Summer? I said, Summer who? I know two Summers. I didn't even think of you, to be honest. Okay. I'm just trying to acknowledge I'm listening. He said, light-skinned Summer, curly-haired Summer, light-eyed Summer, Summer Rayne. How many of those you know? I said, oh, Summer Rayne. He said, yeah, Summer Rayne, nigga. You know who I am? I said, yeah, I heard of you. He said, nah, if you know who I am in person, there is no herd. You know who I am, bottom line. What's up with you and Summer anyway? I said, nothing. She's my friend's friend. He said, When you saw her last? I said, I don't remember which day, but her friend called her to the block. That's when her friend left. I walked her down the block she was staying at because I wanted pizza. He says, Summer is my girl. If I find out you lying, that nice chain around your neck won't be there. If you heard of me, you know how I give it up. So if you fucking with my girl, say it now. I said, nah, I barely know her. I wasn't trying to holler. He lifted the piece on my chain to see how heavy it was, shook his head and walked out. This nigga. Lauren, I'll call you back, I say. Nah, Christian said. Nah, what? Don't call him, please. He will know I told you, and it will be worse. I'll handle it. Handle what? I will fix everything. He don't run shit or me. I just don't want any problems, he says. Tavior has the problem, not you. I will call you back, Lauren. I hung up before anyone else can reply. I dialed Tavior's number, and I hope his ass is home. The phone rings twice, and surprisingly, he answers. Hey, baby. Hey, what did you do today? I start off in an aggressive tone. What's wrong? What did you do today, Tay? My tone is even, but stern. I went to school, he says and pauses. Then? Spoke to your dad. Then? Come on with the drag out shit, Tavior. What's wrong, baby? He sounds confused. What did you eat today? Who did you see? He starts to laugh. Why you ask me that? I can't ask my man what he ate? Make sure he's around someone safe? I question sarcastically, mocking his tone. Why does he have your number, Summer? He's trying to sound stern. Lauren called me with him on three-way because, like I told you, that is her friend. But you didn't believe me. Anyway, leave his ass alone. You look crazy. How I look crazy? You my girl. Yeah, and if I'm gonna do dirt, it won't be blocks from you. Alright, I'll leave the nigga alone, but I see I gotta make my way to your school. Yeah, okay. You're being annoying. I'll talk to you later. I hung up without letting him reply. I call Lauren back and tell her to tell Christian he's good and that I'm off to do my homework. The next morning, as I'm walking toward the store near the back of the school to get breakfast, this girl stops me. Your name Brielle, she asks. No. You look just like her. Crazy. My bad though, she says and keeps walking. I don't think anything of it and walk into the store. Tony and Gigi were waiting for their food. Hey y'all, I say. Tony turns standoffish at first, then smiles when she sees it's me. Hey girl. Hey Summer, Gigi says. As the three of us are chatting and waiting for my food, the dude from yesterday, Jules, comes into the store with, I guess, his crew. One other boy who looks mean as shit. He's dark-skinned, tall, maybe about 6 feet, a bit on the heavy side, and just has a stone face. No smile, nothing. Like, if I was famous, I'd use him as my security. There's a girl with them who looks like she can be the dark-skinned boy's sister. She is almost as tall as Jules and the dark-skinned boy. The only one who smiles out of the three of them is Jules. Hi, Tony J, he says. She rolls her eyes. Hey. Her tone is dry and bothered. He smirks, and just as Jules is about to walk toward the fridge to get juice, I see the dark-skinned boy nudge Jules with his elbow. Miguel from junior high school walks in. He looks at Jules, and looks at his friends first with a straight face, then looks over at me, Tony J, and Gigi. What's good, Summer? You good? He asks. What's up? I say in a happy tone with a smile. He doesn't smile back, which makes me drop mine. I'm confused, but I'll ask him about it later. Hopefully, anyway. I haven't seen much of him in school because it's so big and we have no classes together. My breakfast sandwich is done, I pay for my stuff, and just as we are about to leave, Miguel grabs my arm. I look up at him in a what happened kind of way. Be careful, okay? Okay, I reply, sounding a little confused. I guess I should give y'all a little background story on Miguel. I never did, right? So, before Miguel started messing with Kara, he and I were basically best friends. We passed notes in class, friendly notes. I told him about my celebrity crushes, and we talked about rap songs, of course. But just stuff like that. We got a little distant, but never any love lost. He will always be someone I know I can talk to or trust. Anyway, Tony J, Gigi, and I start walking toward the school. As we get closer to the entrance, this short girl with messy hair says, "Hey, Brielle," and keeps walking with her friend. "Who is Brielle?" Gigi asks. "I don't know, and someone else asked me if my name was Brielle today." I am a little confused as to who Brielle is and why people think I'm her. "Maybe y'all look alike or some shit," Tony J says. "That's what the first girl said." I shrug my shoulders. We go into the lunchroom to eat our breakfast before the bell rings for our first class. Once the bell rings, we both go our separate ways until Spanish class. I see Prince leaning against the wall, or holding up the wall as we would say, meaning he was just leaning on it. But he was standing there with a group of his friends. He winks and smiles at me in a playful fashion. I smile back and shake my head. His friends turn to see who he is looking at, but no one says anything to me, thankfully. My first teacher was absent. This class was boring as shit anyway. Our substitute walks in, and it's an older white man who looks like he's probably mid-50s and struggling to hold on to his hair. That comb over isn't fooling anyone. He had the look of "I don't give a fuck" written all over his face. "I am Mr. Schmidt. I just need to take attendance and then do whatever else you have for your other classes. Your teacher got sick last minute. I don't have a lesson plan." Just as soon as he was done with the attendance, the boys in the back start playing dice. The teacher pretends he doesn't see. I don't know how. They were loud as hell. I kind of wish this was my last period teacher. I could have done all my homework in that class. The rest of the morning flies by, and now it's time for the chaotic Spanish class. I get to the class. I see Tony J standing in the halls talking to Jules. She doesn't look thrilled at all. I don't know if I know her well enough to ask what's up with them. "Hey," I say as I'm about to walk into the class. "Thank you for showing up." She walks away from Jules without even saying goodbye. Yikes for him. We go to our usual seats and wait for Miss Rios to come in. I promise you, this class torments her. The other kids were so quiet before she walked in, and I have walked by her other classes. No one else is out of control. I kind of feel bad, but it's not really my business. I am not the teacher, so whatever. She walks in and the talking gets louder. "Today, we will not be speaking during class unless I ask for a question to be answered," Miss Rios says very loudly. The class pauses with the talking. I was shocked myself, so I know Miss Rios is shocked. Tony turns and looks at me. I give her a look of, "Let me find out." Miss Rios completes attendance with the class being quiet. No sooner than she does, this girl yells out, "Now shut up, miss, we were talking." Everyone starts talking again. I did my usual, copied the board, and completed my homework.